السلام عليكم، مرحبا بكم مرة أخرى في حلقة جديدة من بودكاست موزايك لغة. We are so happy to be with you here today and to have Lalla Ali with us today. مرحبا.
شكرا.
مرحبا بك. We are so happy to have Ali here and talk about her experience in Morocco and her journey. مرحبا بك. So I want to introduce Ali, but I would let her talk and tell us about yourself first. You would do it way better than me.
Okay. My name is Ali. I am from Maine in the United States. I am a high school science teacher, and I came to Morocco as part of the Fulbright Distinguished Awards in Teaching Research Program.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's good.
I'm doing research on women in STEM and how their education is impacted. Hopefully looking at how we can bring more women into the STEM field in the United States, because Morocco is doing such a good job of it.
Awesome. But what is STEM for people who don't know STEM?
Science, technology, engineering, and math.
Okay, so science, technology, engineering, and math.
Yes.
And specifically, I would say girls who would like to study or be associated with these fields, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, so yourself first, how did you start thinking about that before trying to conduct research to help others? What get you to STEM?
Yeah, my background is in science. I got my degree in biology and chemistry, and then I got my master's in wildlife conservation. And I kind of fell into education afterwards. I graduated and I was kind of like, I don't know what to do. And I ended up teaching in American Samoa, which is a little tiny island off the coast, not off the coast, like 6 hours outside of Hawaii. So it's very small, but I just loved it.
Also, I will comment just on that because American standards versus Moroccan standards. So that's how you kind of, it's just off the coast in American standards.
Yes.
But if we talk in Morocco, that's a trip.
A significant journey. Yes.
Half of the country probably.
Yeah.
All right. So this is awesome. Are you a teacher or are you you actually practice teaching in the US? Is that it? In high school?
Yes. I work at a high school in Maine.
Nice.
I actually am going back to teach when I return back to Maine. So hopefully my students have missed me. They'll be excited I return.
Did you miss them?
I do miss them. I thought I wouldn't miss teaching as much as I did while I was here. I really do miss being in the classroom.
That is nice.
Especially when I get to visit Moroccan classrooms and I interact with high schoolers and middle schoolers. And I'm like, I miss my own kids.
That's so nice. So nice. Always I talk about the view being a teacher versus being a student in a classroom, and also always experiencing both. It just gives you another perspective, sitting in on the table as a student is different than sitting at the office as a teacher. So,
absolutely.
How it's different for you the past 6 months you've been a student, صح?
Yeah. I did miss being a student. I love learning. I love getting to engage with new information and see where it takes me. I think being a student helps me be a better teacher. Putting myself in their shoes, knowing what helps me as a student to hopefully help them as a student. So it's definitely different, but I think it's two sides of the same coin. You can't have one without the other. And I think putting yourself in both places really makes you a better version of yourself.
This is awesome. I love that. And I will rewind or go back a little bit and talk about how you came to Morocco. So we talked a little bit how you got into STEM itself, but how did you I think you mentioned Fulbright, but I would like if you can elaborate regarding that.
I believe in a global approach to education.
That's nice.
Especially being in Maine, we're very rural. It's easy to forget that there's other people and places in the world outside of our little place. And talking to my students, some of my students haven't left the state. let alone left the country. And so I think it's really important for students to understand that we're one piece of a much bigger puzzle. And I try to bring that into my classroom. And so for me, I believe in practicing what you preach. And so I tell students they need to have a global perspective. I want to better myself with a global perspective.
This is awesome.
So I was looking at the Fulbright program, and there were multiple countries I could have picked. But when I was reading about Morocco, it just felt like something clicked. Like, when you have that feeling, you're like, oh, I'm supposed to be there.
Yes.
And that's really what it felt like when I was applying to Morocco specifically. So I applied for this program where I get to spend a few months in another country, looking at really any research topic I wanted in education. And one thing Morocco is doing really well is that when you look at the amount of students that are going to study science, technology, engineering, or math at a university level, Morocco has about 50% of students that are female, which is how it should be. 50% of your population, 50% should be there.
It reflects that.
The United States is averaging 25% at a much smaller rate. And so I really wanted to know, what is Morocco doing that's making so many girls go into the science fields? And how can we bring that back into the United States to hopefully encourage more of our own girls to go into the sciences?
Oh, this is awesome. Okay, so I will go there and kind of compare a little bit more if you allow me to. But I want to, like, when you were writing your proposal, what can you tell us about that? How many times you've changed it? All the struggle or not struggle. So if you had like a clear idea from the beginning, that's what I'm gonna write about, and that's what I'm gonna submit to Fulbright to be accepted.
Yeah. I knew immediately what I wanted my topic to be.
That is good.
What I will say is that when I originally proposed my idea, it was looking at how can we better empower female students in STEM education. And where I ended up really became more of a comparison study of what's happening in the United States, what's happening in Morocco. Because as I was here and learning about the culture, learning about the people, the education system, what I really found was that it's not so much about the classroom, but really about culture and society, which makes sense because I know it's not, I know that in the United States, it's not what's happening in the classroom that's impacting students directly. It's our culture and society. So I don't know why I thought it would be different. So I did change my proposal a little bit in that regard. But from the start, I really wanted to look at what's happening in Morocco.
That is awesome. And that being said, we can say that you kind of did not have any challenges in your proposal. Is that fair to say?
I think that's
you
true.
had any challenge?
I don't think I had really any challenges. I think from the beginning, I was able to be really honest about what I was hoping to gain. And luckily, they liked that and they accepted that proposal. But yeah, I don't think I really had any challenges. I'm also really lucky that other people are looking at this. And so there was a lot of publications online about what's happening in Morocco already. So I was able to really build my proposal up right from the start.
This is awesome. Okay, so I will stay with this topic before we go. So what kind of, I'm not going to ask about the outcomes in general, but what can you tell us about this comparison, almost a little bit? First, what is happening between your classroom, for example, in the US versus classroom in Morocco? And then what did you find different versus what is similar?
Yeah. I would say the biggest difference in the classroom is the baccalaureate program, because the United States really doesn't do baccalaureate programs, at least consistently. There are some private schools that will do it, but it's not a consistent feature in the American education system, where students are choosing that major at a very young age and kind of pursuing a topic during high school. I think that drives a lot of what they're studying and what their interests are. Whereas in the United States, it's very liberal arts. So students kind of get a little bit of everything and don't really hone in the same way that the Moroccan system does.
Do you think that is okay? That might be a little bit hard, but do you think that is limiting or as a good thing?
I think there's probably pros and cons to it on both sides. I think at the American level, we have students that are forced to take classes that they really don't care about. And we know that it's hard to get students to engage with material that they don't care about. So I think that can be really tricky. Whereas when they do a baccalaureate program, they get to take things that they care about. And theoretically, that means that they're more engaged in the material. On the flip side, it allows them to kind of experience a lot. Even if it's very general, they kind of get a broader taste of a lot of different subjects, which many students appreciate. And I think also sometimes it's hard to look at a 14-year-old and be like, what do you want to do for the rest of your life?
Oh, yeah. I was to know the age of 14 to know what...
I'm still trying to figure it out. So
me too. Yeah, well, at least I didn't know when I was 14 for sure.
For sure.
For sure. Okay, I will go back since we're talking about 14. They're still considered as kids,
Yes.
Or I want to go and talk a little bit about your childhood. It was always in Maine, or you traveled?
I grew up fully in Maine. We did a little bit of traveling. My family wasn't extraordinarily wealthy, so our little bit of travel really was in the surrounding states, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts.
Nice.
But I loved growing up in Maine. It was really wonderful.
Oh, what do you miss?
I think what I miss the most is the trees.
Oh, the trees.
The trees.
The white or the green?
I think
even the winter.
I don't miss the winter as much.
That's why I called them the white or the green, because with snow or without snow.
It is very beautiful when it snows,
so
at
nice.
least right at the beginning. But I do miss, I think, a forest, like a big forest. And I have traveled to Ithran and Akshor, and I've definitely had that taste of forest. But I think a piece of me really does miss Maine's forest.
Absolutely, absolutely. Maine is gorgeous and has amazing forests, and also the beach as well, or
Yes.
I would say the ocean.
We're very lucky. We have the ocean, we have the mountains, we have the forest. You can get a lot in a really small area.
Awesome. So now I jump to Morocco and I say, not a stereotype, but what's something that you expected to find, or you thought you would find, and then you didn't find it, or it was different?
So it's like embarrassing to say now.
Go ahead.
But I really expected more desert. And that's, I think, just me not doing enough research. But I really did think I was going to come here and sand would be everywhere and it'd be very deserty. And then I got here and I was like, oh, it's very green. It's very green.
It's different.
It's very different.
Yeah. So you stayed in Rabat mostly, and
I
then
lived
you traveled.
in Rabat.
You lived in Rabat.
But I did do a lot of travel outside of
That's
Rabat.
nice. So you visited the sand. You visited the desert as well.
I did visit the desert.
How was
yes.
that?
Beautiful. It's a very different experience. But there's something very peaceful about being in the desert and
true.
just seeing the sky and the sand, and it's very lovely.
Yeah, it's my favorite place. I'm a little bit biased. Of course, Rabat is my favorite place to live in, but as a trip or whatever, where I get my energy back, it's always in the desert, regardless where I am in the world. What is your favorite place in Morocco?
I do love Rabat. I think I love it because it's so easy to get everywhere else. It's a nice hub. But I loved Ithran. It reminded me of home a lot.
Nice.
I loved Chefchaouen, and I loved Ouarzazate.
Oh, nice. Well, you visited, like, these are different.
Oh yes, I went from Tetuan all the way down to Agadir.
That's so nice. That's so nice. Okay. Next time we do the other half.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
inshallah. So there is a lot more to see in Morocco. Did you visit Souera?
No. I did get to Esfi.
That's good. That's good. Nice. So I know it's almost you have friends or people in similar situation that they were assigned in different cities in Rabat, in Morocco.
Yes.
Was that helpful for you to travel actually?
Very helpful. I actually just came back from Marrakesh,
Wallah.
visiting some friends down there.
That is good.
Rode a hot air balloon. Very exciting.
How was that?
It was beautiful. I think what I loved the most about it is that you could see the mountains, and being able to see the mountains and see the city, and it was just very
it's
lovely.
kind of scary for me to do that. So, but was it like fine?
It was totally fine. It's very stable. You're not
Nice.
like, I thought it would rock more, but it doesn't.
It did. Okay, that is good. I will. I took people to actually experience that. I've never went myself.
Next time,
I wait for them,
inshallah.
and I tell them, "You go up.
I'll wait for you.
All right. Okay, so we talked about travel in Morocco, but let's talk about the whole experience, like living here, living in Rabat. How was that for you, or how would like your day look like if you are if you feel comfortable sharing about that, or the activities in general? Yeah.
Well, first, I love living in Morocco. I love being in Rabat. I think I settled in really quickly.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think it takes a mindset because it's very different living in Morocco than living in the United States. And I very much came into this experience like, I'm so excited to see what it's like and experience it myself. And I think that mindset really helped me just kind of get in here, and I was like, all right, let's see what happens. Let's see where it goes. Yeah. But I think one thing that's really special about Morocco is this sense of community in a way that you don't quite find in the United States. The United States is very individualized. You think a lot about like, what do I need to do next? What's right for me? How can I do this? But in Morocco, it's really like, what can we do? And how can I help you?
Wow.
And so being here, I know that I can go up to just about anyone in my very little Darija and ask for help. And I will never be turned away.
Absolutely.
I know that I can sit in a cafe and comfortably have my tea and just feel very peaceful and comfortable. I think that's really different from anywhere else I've been, that big sense of community and support. And I think that probably is what made my time here in Morocco so smooth.
Wow, that makes me happy and proud. I know the community is like that, but I'm glad every time I'm reminded, and I know that it's still going. But you know, what would you tell another girl, I would say, in Vermont or Maine or San Francisco or whatever, in the US or probably in the world, who are thinking or worried a little bit about that? Because you described sitting in a cafe or doing just this little thing yourself and feeling safe, and also you feel safe to ask for help, because that's a huge step with even limited language skills. Even I disagree, but I think inshallah you will have a lot more. But okay, my question in short words, I would say, what would you tell another girl who is worried about the safety side in Morocco?
I would say that don't worry. I have never had an experience here in Morocco where I felt like I was not safe. I walk alone all the time. I travel across Morocco by myself all the time. I use the buses and the trains and the trams. And I've never had an experience where I was like, oh, I don't feel super safe. So I think I'm very fortunate for that. But I don't think it's an uncommon experience. Talking to other Fulbrighters who are here and traveling, women especially, no one has ever been like, oh, I didn't feel great there.
Safe.
It's very much a place where I have never felt like I was unwelcome. I've never felt like I couldn't travel somewhere. I never felt like I needed to have someone else with me. And I think that is a unique experience for Morocco. Because I've definitely traveled to places where I didn't necessarily want to be alone. And here, I have never had that feeling.
That is great to hear. Of course, we're not trying to generalize that never can happen to someone.
Sure.
Of course,
Absolutely.
It can happen, but probably as common as it would happen in the US.
100%.
Right?
And I will say, I get asked all the time, especially from friends at home, about catcalling. And
thank you for bringing that up.
It absolutely happens. But in my experience, it is the most polite catcalling I've ever experienced. Most of the time, it's just like, hello, you're beautiful. And then if you don't interact, I have never been followed. I've never been harassed. I've never had anyone say anything else. And that experience is something that I have had happen in other countries and in the United States. So to know that even if somebody is trying to get your attention, they're never, or I won't say never, but like for the most part, they don't step over that next line.
That is good.
It is a weight off of my shoulders to know
that is really awesome. But I've been saying for the past years that I hope that something that we will hear that is changing, and I think it is changing in Morocco. And of course, we have a way ahead in this specific thing, so to work on. And I'm glad that you experience that this way. Okay, we're gonna keep talking about Morocco, but in terms of culture, food, all that, tell me more.
Food, I could talk about actually, Moroccan food all day.
Because we're not. Yeah, go ahead. We have all day.
I feel so people in Maine might get personally offended.
Oh my goodness!
But Maine is not known for its food.
Fish.
We have fish. We have lobster. I am allergic to shellfish.
Allah.
So I don't eat it. But that's really the only thing we have going for us. But here in Morocco, I have had some of the best food of my life. Rafisa, sefa madfouna,
Okay, now you know what you're talking about. Because what you literally brought up, it's not at every restaurant. It's for people who
I have to track it down.
Exactly. So people who know what they're talking about, they mention these names. So yeah. Your favorite Moroccan dish?
Rafisa is definitely my favorite Moroccan dish.
I have to high five for that because I
got to learn how to make it with you here.
Yes. I remember. Yes.
It was wonderful. It was like the perfect experience.
Yes, that's awesome.
But that was also the first meal that I shared with a Moroccan family, which I think is why it's so special to me.
I think you came to me and told me about Rafisa, and I told you, that's true. So you came and you told me about that. I ate Rafisa is the best. I told you, yes, it is the best. And then you're gonna learn how to cook that. And then we had an activity after this. Not with me. That's why I don't remember. But you had it with the Ahlam, if I remember.
Yes.
Exactly. So tell us about the cultural activity itself and all this roots, I would say.
It's hard to generalize because they're so different. I think I participated in just about every single one I could.
That is good to hear.
You know, my very first one was music, and I came and we had a lovely musician come and played songs, and we sang, and I tried to sing a little bit as I was trying to read Arabic for like the first time. We've done.
What instrument was it? I mean, Qanun, was it played like that?
Yes.
Qanun, yeah, it's behind you.
Oh yes, there it is. Which is so beautiful, and an instrument that I had never heard played before. So that was really special. I think what's so wonderful about the cultural activities is the mix of hands-on experience with understanding the history behind it.
Oh, that's
so we did like the Zalij tiles.
Yes.
And I had not, I didn't know anything about the history of the tile work. And then you actually gave the presentation. So I learned all of this history, and then we made our tile. And I have my little tile still.
Does it serve as a coaster or just decoration?
It's decoration right now because I want it to get home safely.
Safely. Right.
And then I'll try and risk it as a coaster.
Okay. All right. What is your least favorite activity?
My least favorite activity?
That we can improve. I'm taking feedback. Feel free to say.
I don't know that I have a least favorite. Okay, if I had to pick, I would say probably like the more lecture-based. But that's only because I love a good hands-on activity. So I love when we get to learn but then do. And I love the museum trips.
That's good.
I went to so many museums I never would have gone to because of the cultural activities, like the coin museum, the money museum, the postal museum. And people give me a hard time sometimes when I'm like, you should go to the postal museum. And they're like, I don't want to learn about I don't want to learn about the history of mail.
And sometimes they say, why would I pay for it? You know, because that is another step. Like it should be another dedication.
Yes.
You have to pay for going inside. But when you have it as part of your learning or activities, it's a different appreciation for it as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. We went to Shella, and I loved that. It was, again, one of the first activities I went to as the group. Nice. Yeah. And it was the first time I had gone to the activities and I didn't know anybody. Because the first activity I went to, I had like a friend with me. But this was the first one where I didn't know anybody going. And I made some of like friends that I still have to this day.
Oh, that's nice.
Because of that trip.
Oh, that's so nice.
And then additionally, anytime someone came to visit me, I was like, we have to go to Shella.
To Shella.
We have to go.
Shella is so peaceful.
It's beautiful.
It's so peaceful. When I also like to write something, I sit in Shella and I'm giving all my secret spots away. Not a secret, just if you don't find me, now you know where. Now you know
I
where.
love the storks.
Oh, yes.
Everywhere, and you just hear it. Yes.
That is different. Yeah. That is great. Okay. Now I would love to talk about the language.
Okay.
So I know before coming to Morocco, you did not know any Arabic.
No.
Or French.
No.
How was that for you?
It was scary. Mostly because I think one of the weakest parts of the American education system in general is our language, because we don't learn it in elementary school. Again, there are always exceptions, but for the most part, like my school didn't teach languages at the elementary level. We didn't teach language at the middle school level. And so my first opportunity to learn a language was in high school. And I chose Latin, which is probably not the language I would recommend
right now
people try to learn.
Why is that?
Mostly because I chose it because we were kind of told it will help you on the SATs, big standardized test. It did not help me on the SATs. I think if I was going to do it over, I would choose to do a language that is spoken more frequently, like Spanish, something that I felt like I could use more in my day-to-day life. In college, I tried to take Italian. I was encouraged to stop by my teacher. So in general, languages are just very challenging for me to learn.
Okay.
They don't come easily to me.
Yes.
So I think knowing that I was coming to a country where the official languages and the commonly spoken languages were not English was a fact that I was worried about. I did do Duolingo for a little bit for modern standard Arabic, which helped me a lot because I only focused on learning the letters. So I did have a step up coming in at knowing what letters were present. I just didn't know how to pronounce any of them.
I see. So I feel like this is the first time, not in this podcast, but also the first time I've heard someone had a good experience with Duolingo as a transition. And to me, that is really amazing to hear. So, and I will add to it, it's probably helped you tear down the wall of unfamiliarity with the language. So it became a little bit familiar just with the Duolingo. Even as you said, you did not learn much, but it still helped as a transition.
Yes. So it's funny because when I started doing the Duolingo for Arabic, I tried to learn words. But because they were teaching it letter by letter, the words that they were teaching us, because they'd be like, hey, do you know what this word is? And then they'd be like, by the way, this word means whatever.
Lion.
But it would be like, this word means teleprompter. And I'm like, I don't need to know the word teleprompter. So then I really moved to focusing on the letters, which was very, very helpful. It did take me like a year to learn the letters, but being able to come in and say like, I can read letters. I might not be able to read words, but I can tell you what each letter is, was a really big step. And I think put me in a really good place when I started
learning. So you would recommend?
I think if you are new to Arabic languages and you don't know the letters, I think Duolingo does a great job teaching you the letters.
Oh, that is great. Yes. That is great to hear. So here you have your tip. If you are a stranger to the language, and when you came with no, I would say, language skill or language, like you don't speak Arabic. To be specific, you don't speak Arabic or French, but of course English. How functional you felt in like kind of doing your things in Morocco?
I think being in Rabat, I was very fortunate because a lot of people speak at least a little bit of English, and so with their like very little English and my very, very little Arabic and French, we could kind of maneuver along the way. So I think I wouldn't worry significantly about the language unless you were choosing to go to an area of Morocco that's much smaller. Like Esfi, I definitely had a harder time without English.
I see.
But I would say a lot of big cities, I could typically figure my way out.
I see. Awesome. So tell us a little bit more about your experience in classrooms here at Roots, if possible.
Yes, at Roots. Oh, I think Roots made my experience in Morocco as positive as it was.
Oh, thank you. I know it's hard for you to say otherwise because I'm sitting here, but I hope you stay wherever you want.
It is very true. I think I learned so much about the culture that I don't think I would have ever experienced without Roots. And then learning the language, I was ready. Like on day one, I came in and I was like, I don't need to read it. I don't need to write it. I was like, I need basic sayings.
I need to talk.
So that I can say like, hello, how are you? Please
give me
help.
That.
That's all I needed. And I was like, I'm going to do that. And then I give the teachers here at Roots a lot of credit because they were like, okay, no, you're going to learn and you're going to learn correctly. And I think when I finally was like, I will learn correctly, it really changed my learning abilities. I was like, oh, clearly they do this for a reason because it's how you have to learn.
So sometimes, of course, we don't. I would speak about that a little bit. Is like sometimes we recommend for students who give us the possibility to advise them to like how to learn. Especially learning the letter or not. So when you're learning Arabic, this is also for everyone. If you're learning Arabic, I highly recommend you learn the letters. Why? Of course, you can learn Darija, you can learn the Moroccan Arabic without learning the letters, but you're gonna struggle way more if you learn the letters. Just to know which one is feminine, which one is masculine, you're gonna struggle more. How to change that, or where the emphasis, or where the stress is, or where that or this. It doesn't translate in terms of the script perfectly with Latin letters. So once you learn Arabic, you advance I would say, faster. That's why I would say teachers would recommend or would call it the correct way, because it helps you advance faster. And I think you would testify to that.
I 100% agree. I think as soon as I finished like relearning letters and started reading fully in Arabic, those words made a lot more sense to me. And I think also because the Latin translation isn't standardized.
Absolutely.
Sometimes I would see words and I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen that word.
Exactly.
But seeing it in Arabic, I was like, oh, I know that word
I know
for
this
sure.
one. Yeah, absolutely. Because some letters appear or don't appear because some people write them in a different way.
Yes.
And seeing all letters without, also writing things without vowels versus putting all the vowels as letters is going to be so confusing. So that's what sometimes the teacher try to protect you from, or whatever called the correct way.
Yes,
yes. Absolutely. This is awesome. I would talk more about the class on your experience, but we can pass on that to not.
We can keep talking about the class.
No, you can tell me anything was not good. If you have one.
No, I think
really.
There were now. Don't get me wrong. There were definitely, and shout out to Yazin because he's fabulous and he was who I had as my teacher really the whole time. He made me read a lot, and there were times where I was like, Yazin, we're gonna be here for hours as I break down each word, and he would just be like, like very patient, keep going. But I saw my progress from the first reading that we did to the later readings that we did. Like I remember the moment where I said to him, that was easier. And I think that even though I didn't like it in the moment, I was like, if I never read a paragraph in Arabic again, I'll be okay. It was so special to feel like I was making progress because I'd never had that experience learning a language before.
This is great. This is great to hear. Again, shout out to Yasin and to everyone. And I know they almost choose the right method for each students, the way how after they get to know you, so they know what to give you a lot more. And I will take the chance here and talk about individual classes versus group classes. So you're or at least small number. So you are, as a teacher, you can actually give this special attention. If you have a group or big group, it's impossible, and it's way harder. Of course, it's gonna be, economically speaking or financially speaking, it's better for the school to have a group than to have a one-on-one class. Sure. Regardless, these are people, they don't talk about it a lot, but that's why I would say everyone is pushing for group classes, even though scientifically we can prove that the one-on-one, you will progress way faster, which is the global or economy or whatever. It's not even good for us. You progress quickly because you're gonna spend way more time. And if we give one teacher, one room, all that for the same versus stacking 6, 10, whatever, it's economically better for the school. But that's why almost I would say, okay, what I'm saying now, a lot of people will disagree with, but I know that sometimes research support the economy more than sometimes the facts. Anyway, so
what I will just additionally say about the one-on-one classes is that I felt much more comfortable asking specific questions.
Exactly.
Not even necessarily about the language, but there were days when I came in and I was like, hi, what is the difference between the uniforms that different guards are wearing? What's
perfect.
The color difference? When I got invited to a wedding, I went into class and I was like, I need to learn everything about a wedding right now. I can't go to this wedding unprepared. Please teach me about it. And to his credit, we spent half the class just learning about
the culture,
the traditions of the wedding. And I was able to leave that class going, all right, I'm ready. I can do this.
And that is very important. We cannot separate language from the culture as well. Okay, how was the wedding?
Wonderful. It is probably my proudest moment that I was invited to this wedding.
Of course.
and invited by, the groom's family and
that's so
being
nice.
able to share in that celebration. And it was the best laham I've ever had in my life. It was so good. Oh my gosh.
Exactly,
Yes, so
yeah.
good.
It's
So good.
beef with prunes.
Oh my gosh. I will chase that taste for the rest of my life.
Look, it never tastes the same outside of the wedding. I hate to tell you that.
Everybody says
even
that.
Us, the same person who cook it there versus there, it has a different, it's the experience.
It is the experience. I think there's also something very special about being able to share a meal with at such an important event in someone's life and share not just the meal, but that joy and that celebration. So it was beautiful.
That is awesome. Okay, what's your favorite word in Darija?
My favorite word in Darija is hamar, donkey.
Why?
Because when I was learning the colors, and the word for red is hamar. And Yazin just kept laughing at me every single time until finally he was like, I need to stop you.
Yeah.
Because you are saying donkey. But there are so many, I think, and in English, I started especially talking with Moroccans. I realized there are words in English that sound very similar, like listen versus lesson. But I never thought about it before until I was learning Darija. And I was like, the word for 7 and fingers and lion and morning, to me, all sound the same.
Yeah, we can say them. You can say in English, I say in Arabic.
7.
Sab'a.
Fingers.
Sab'a.
Morning.
Sabah.
Lion.
Sab'a.
And I remember the first time I was talking and I could not understand the sentence at all. I was like, this sentence does not make sense. Like, why do you keep saying fingers?
Yes.
And Yazin was like,
no,
I'm not saying fingers.
And that's probably not to literally be repetitive here, but if you write them in English, they
all
absolutely look almost similar, like almost the same. And because, as you say, it's not standardized, some people will write them similar, which is very confusing, but they're so different in the Arabic script.
Yes, and so I have to see it written in Arabic to really know
you see
what
this.
word it
These
is.
are two totally different letters. So this is good. So we have.
But it definitely,
Hamar.
Yes, it definitely became a thing though. Anytime there was a word that I was pronouncing just enough wrong that it was a different word, in class we would just go, Hamar. And so it just kind of became like a very funny, it's donkey all over again.
All right. So what's the connection, inshallah, will be with Morocco? You feel like it's a page and flipped, or is there more?
Absolutely not. I can't imagine that I will be able to go the rest of my life without coming back to Morocco.
Oh, inshallah, you will come back.
I think a piece of me will stay here, and I will just keep tracking that. I am excited to share my experience with others and hopefully encourage them to go on their own journey and have their own experience. Yes. I'm really excited to bring back what I've learned from my research and hopefully influence my school and my community to look at ourselves and improve ourselves. So Morocco is absolutely guiding my next steps.
Oh, that's really nice. And please feel free to reach out if you want to invite anyone to your class virtually, or sometimes if I'm in the US, I would love to visit your classes. I'm more than happy to do that.
Absolutely.
And who knows, they might learn the Zalij there as well, and you tell them all over that, or eat couscous together, inshallah. Thank you so much, Lila Ali.
Oh, shukran.
It was such a great, inspiring journey, and I hope girls in Maine, and not everyone, I would say, in the States or outside of the States, they learn from you.
Thank you.
شكرا جزيلا لله Ali. Thank you so much, everyone. كذلك. Don't forget, please share this episode with anyone who are thinking or they would love to learn anything about Morocco, and feel free to put or ask us anything in the comment and subscribe. Thank you so much.